So when it comes to shading, I think the ultimate goal is to be able to control your pencil good enough that you can go from light, you can go from dark, you can blend, and you're able to control this tool to do what you need to do. But sometimes we have difficulty with that. It takes a long time. You need to build up a lot of layers in order to do a great job. And sometimes just motor skills, it's difficult for some people to be able to blend from one to another. So one of the tools that most helps with that problem is a tortillon. I just call these things smudgies. And all this is a piece of paper that has been just rolled and rolled and rolled until it comes to a point, but that's really all it is. So what do you do if you don't have one of these? Well, I started to kind of experiment with how to make my own. So the first thing I did is go, okay, well, what if I just take a pencil? And originally I was going to cover it with a Kleenex, and then I went, maybe just masking tape will work. So again, I recommend use a pencil, not a pencil crayon. I considered doing a pencil crayon, and then I realized if we ever go through the tape, we could wreck our drawings. If for some reason we went through this tape, then at least it would just be pencil, and we could just erase it. So I'm taking one piece of masking tape and going over the top, and I'm taking the other one. So basically I'm sticking it on the end, and then I'm just kind of folding it down on all the different sides of the pencil so that I can make it into a point. And then what I'm going to do is just take a longer piece of tape and go around and just kind of spin it around the top to hold everything in place. Okay, so you don't want to be touching this too much because you have oil on the end of your fingers. We all do, and we don't want to get too much oil on there. So kind of do it light, and then I might even just wipe it off a little bit. And then what that's going to allow me to do is if I go and I take my pencil and I'm shading this way, by going in the other direction with this tool, it'll start to blend everything together. And that's a really good way to get a more solid surface cover. It allows you to fill the space. And it can also help if you're having problems blending from dark to light. Again, I'm going to kind of spin this thing around, and it can help to smooth things out. All right, so that was one example of a homemade one that I made, and I think it works quite well. The other thing to do was to start with a Kleenex, and you could do a Kleenex, toilet paper, paper towel. I mean, maybe try a couple of them and see which one works best. So all I'm gonna do is fold the Kleenex in half. I'm gonna fold it in half again. I'm gonna fold it in half again. And now I'm just going to start to do it once I get it something around this size. I'm just going to start to form the corner by folding it into triangles. So I'm just going to fold it this way, and then I'm turning it over just so it's more strong, and then I'm just going to fold it in half again, and then I'm going to fold it in half again. And I think that's as much as I can do. If you can fold it one more time, great. And then I'm just taking tape, again, any kind of tape. This is a mask, because this one we're not actually touching our drawing, we're just using it to hold. So that's gonna give me something that I can also use. And I think that one's going to be the best for large areas. And the other one's going to be the best for small. So yeah, now I've got this ready to go, and I can go this way. And you can see how I took something that was all kind of stripy and liney, and I was able to blend it out. In fact, I think I'd make maybe a couple of these ones. You can see it's kind of ripping already, which is why maybe a paper towel would be a stronger choice. So go ahead, try to making your own tools. And again, always practice on a scrap piece of paper first before you try to use one on a good drawing.